Hi guys, what is up? Today is going to be a Q&A. I asked you guys over on Instagram what questions you had about nutrition and fitness, and I received quite a few, but I want to go through everything. I had questions that were asked in English et des questions qui ont été posées en français. So I'll be answering those questions by the language they were asked in. Donc en gros, je répondrai aux questions dans la langue avec lesquelles elles ont été posées. It's so hard, you guys, because when I did the initial vote, a lot of you voted for these videos to be in English, which is why I'm keeping them in English. But let me know down below if you would like some French videos as well. Obviously, these videos are for you, so I want them to be useful for you. So let me know below what you would prefer. Alright, so let's get started. Right, so I got a couple of questions from you guys. And we'll dive straight into it because I really want to get back to everyone, but I don't want to make this video way too long. So yeah, let's go through with it. Right, the first question is, what is the best protein bars that we can find or ship to Morocco? I have this question quite a lot, and unfortunately, I've never personally bought any bars or protein powders from Morocco. But from what I know, you have stores like Decathlon, iHerb that sell these. I've never tried a particular brand, so I can't recommend any. If you guys have, then please let it in the comments below so we can help each other. The flavors that I would recommend would be vanilla or unflavored and chocolate. Those are, you can't go wrong with these ones, and you can use them quite easily with your meals. Second question, how to deal avec les TCA? TCA est trouble du comportement alimentaire, épisode compulsif de gavage sous stress. Donc je vais répondre à cette question en français parce que la plupart des mots sont en français. Les troubles du comportement alimentaire sont très sérieux. Ces troubles viennent souvent d'une restriction. Il y a eu une restriction préalable qui a déclenché ce trouble du comportement alimentaire. Ici, la personne fait référence aux épisodes compulsifs de gavage sous stress. On a l'élément déclencheur, c'est le stress. Étant sous stress, cette personne trouve une certaine sécurité en s'alimentant et peut-être en se suralimentant jusqu'à se sentir ballonné, pas très bien dans sa peau, et il y a souvent du regret, ce genre d'épisode. Donc ce que je conseille, c'est d'identifier la source du stress, donc pourquoi on est stressé, d'essayer de prendre 5 minutes pour soi, pour définir si le fait de manger émotionnellement va aider concrètement la situation de stress. Je sais que c'est beaucoup plus facile à dire qu'à faire, mais c'est vraiment un exercice de conscience. C'est prendre conscience de ton corps. Donc prochaine question, c'est ton avis sur comment le marketing nous a imposé indirectement un style de vie pas sain. Ce qu'on appelle ice culture, et ce sont des règles préétablies pour arriver à une perte de poids optimale. Entre guillemets. Marketing, c'est vraiment fait une fortune sur notre dos. Tout simplement parce qu'ils vendent cette idéologie de corps parfait. En tant qu'humain, on recherche le bien-être. On nous a inculqué que être mince et être healthy, c'était être your best self. Malheureusement, c'est pas vrai. Et je pense que ça a complètement détruit notre idéologie de ce que c'est une bonne nutrition, de ce que c'est un bon régime alimentaire, de pourquoi on fait du sport, et ça a complètement ruiné nos pensées. Et ça a mis hors contexte tout ce qu'il y a à savoir sur la nutrition. Et je trouve ça vraiment dommage. My favorite YouTubers. I don't watch a lot of YouTubers, but I like Erin, I like Olivia, and Natasha. My fave. Next question is thoughts on the fitness industry demonizing certain foods, bread, sweets. So that goes back a little bit to the question I've just answered. My thoughts are, I hate them because they've demonized certain foods to make money out of a specific way of losing weight, because losing weight should be your main goal in life and nothing else. I absolutely hate it. Nothing, no study supports this. No study supports eliminating a whole food group just to lose weight. I mean, if you're allergic to it, please avoid it. But if you're doing it just to lose weight, then don't. I mean, it's so easy to demonize carbs, but please show me a study that proves that carbs are bad for us. I'll wait. Next question. I stopped losing weight and it just got fixed after I lost 10 kilos and it doesn't move. Any advice, please? What you've reached here is a plateau, what we call a plateau. When you start your weight loss journey, the first couple of kilos will drop quite easily. However, as you progress into your weight loss journey, your metabolism adjusts to the changes you're making. And so this is what we call metabolic adaptation. What I would suggest is increasing your calories to your maintenance calories, just to tell your metabolism, look, we're fine, here's some extra food, we're maintaining our weight for a little bit, and then after a month or a specific amount of time, go back down to your deficit. And then you'll start losing weight a little bit again and again. But the mistake to not make is to actually keep on decreasing the food, because lower calorie means your metabolism will adapt to very few calories and it's going to be so hard to climb up from that. So increase your calories to maintenance, stay on it for a little while as your body adjusts to it again, and then go back to your deficit and you will lose again. Next question is, I just had a knee injury and can't work out anymore. How can I still lose weight or maintain it? So first of all, I'm really sorry about your knee injury and I hope that your recovery is doing fine and that you're doing good. I think your main priority should be to lose weight at the moment, because your body probably needs enough fuel just to function and just to heal you. So maybe focus on maintaining your weight. And the way you can do it is eating your normal amount of food. Try to listen to your hunger cues, honor what your body is asking you, and try and track your progress a little bit, because that will give you an idea of your body is responding to the quantities you're giving it. Don't focus everything on your scale, because the scale doesn't take into consideration just your weight. There's so many factors that go in hand in it, such as water, such as your sleep quality, your stress levels, what you ate the night before. So don't focus on the scale solely, but just take measurements of yourself to see how your body is responding, and you'll know if you're maintaining your weight. Next question. How do you get in shape when you have excess fat in your belly? Strength or, and I'm assuming she meant cardio. So here I have a lot of excess fat in my belly area as well. And what you can do is a proper program of strength training where you do progressive overload over time, proper amounts of protein, consistency, not giving up, drinking your water, and the results will follow. You can still do cardio because it's really good for cardiovascular health, but don't do excessive cardio and definitely focus on strength training. Next question. How to resist buying food outside, especially unhealthy snacks? I don't like the word resist, because that means you really want it. So if you want something that you deem unhealthy, I would call it more less nutritious, then you can go and have it. And that's fine, you can move on with your life. But what would be good is maybe if you bake your own snacks and make sure that they're made with nutritious ingredients, you can always have it on you. You can carry it with you wherever you go, so that when you have that sweet tooth craving, you can have it. Don't restrict from it, but have it in moderation. Next question. I'm skinny but got some belly fat. Should I look forward to get rid of it first, then gain weight? Skinny and you've got belly fat is what we usually call skinny fat. So I would definitely advise you to eat in a calorie surplus, a slight one, as well as going into a strength training program, because that will definitely help a lot with body recomposition. Next question. I need to lose 10 kilograms ASAP. How can I do that? First of all, don't do it ASAP. Don't put a timestamp on your weight loss. You want to lose 10 kilos? Okay, fine. Then start by building a habit list that will help you reach your goal. So basically ask yourself this question. Okay, I want to lose weight. What can I do to get there? First, I need to be in a calorie deficit, meaning I need to eat a little bit less than what I'm currently eating now. I need to move a little more. I need to drink more water. I need to focus on whole foods. I need to have an adequate protein intake. have these in mind, and then you can start planning from it. And basically, each and every day or each and every week, you implement a new habit will help you work towards your goal. Prochaine question en français. Donc, je veux perdre 12 kilos avec une nutrition healthy. La corde à sauter, qu'en penses-tu? C'est très précis. Donc, une nutrition healthy, oui. Mais est-ce que ça veut dire une nutrition restrictive? Est-ce que ça veut dire ne pas manger les choses que tu aimes? Est-ce que ça veut dire juste manger ce que toi tu penses être healthy pour pouvoir perdre du poids? Juste pour un peu plus de contexte, si tu veux perdre du poids, tu dois être en déficit calorique. C'est-à-dire manger un peu moins que ce que ton corps ne dépense. Tu peux manger healthy, tu peux manger unhealthy. C'est la quantité qui compte quand on veut perdre du poids. La prochaine question, c'est je veux prendre de la masse musculaire. Combien de protéines dois-je manger? Alors, je peux pas te donner un nombre exact, mais il y a une formule. C'est de multiplier 1,4 g de protéines par kilo. Supposons que je fais 60 kg, donc 60 fois 1,4, c'est 84. Et donc ça c'est le minimum si je fais pas de workout, si je ne fais pas de sport, je ne fais pas de musculation, je n'ai pas l'intention de prendre en masse musculaire. Je suis un programme sportif spécifique, je te conseille vraiment d'ajouter à ce nom. Par exemple, si ma base de protéines c'est 84, j'essaierai d'atteindre les 105, 110 grammes les jours où je workout. Mon but c'est de prendre en muscle. Next question. Hi, I wanted to know how does precision nutrition work if it is interesting. Precision nutrition is so interesting. So for those of you who don't know, I've actually gifted this to myself on my birthday. It's a nutrition course. It's self-paced. The chapters are so interesting. So in each chapter, you have kind of a video to watch, and then you have a chapter that you need to read. You have case studies, you have questions on the case studies, and at the end of the chapter, you have an exam. It's super interesting. Like if you're interested in becoming a nutrition coach, then yes, I recommend it. Next question is, I have a knee and elbow injury from gym. How to restart and deal with the pain? So I'm really sorry that you've been injured. Don't restart and deal with the pain because that means you still have pain. The pain needs to be completely gone for you to get back to the gym because that's exactly the place where you got injured. We don't want that injury to get worse. So what I would advise is to completely heal, and when you get back to the gym, start slowly, focus on proper form before adding any weights. And when you get comfortable with doing the exercise, then you can move on to adding weights. Next question. I will be into workout for 1 week and then wait for a drastic weight loss. How to get rid of this? My girl, I'm going to tell you something, but you need to dissociate working out with losing weight. They don't go hand in hand. You work out to feel good. You work out to release those endorphins. You work out because it makes you feel strong, but you don't work out to lose weight. Yes, working out can create a surplus of calorie burn, but it doesn't necessarily means weight loss. So many people don't have weight loss as an intention, including me for now, and they still make sure that workout is part of their routine. You need to work out, you need to find the workout that you enjoy, that you don't see as like a core, and you do because it makes you feel good, not because it will bring you something else. Prochaine question en français aussi, quelques astuces pour booster le métabolisme en cas de stagnation. Donc j'ai répondu un peu à ça sur la question en anglais, mais en cas de stagnation, il faut juste manger un peu plus. Il faut jamais rester trop longtemps en déficit, il faut faire des cycles. Si on stagne, c'est tout simplement notre corps qui nous demande un peu plus d'énergie qu'il pourra utiliser. Augmente tes calories jusqu'à obtenir tes calories de maintenance. Ensuite, si tu veux encore perdre du poids, tu peux revenir en déficit. Next question is healing binging. I can't answer this in an easy way. Binging is a serious eating disorder. And I want you guys to make the difference between two things. Binging and overeating. There are two different, completely separate things. Overeating is eating a little bit more than what you usually do. You can control yourself and you can stop. Binging is usually an eating disorder that is very secretive the person lives with it on their own. It's literally uncontrollable. It's a crisis that happens after episodes of restriction, where you literally go on a binge, you cannot stop, you don't care about the calories, you overconsume. Sometimes it can get up to like 10,000, 15,000 calories in one night, and you feel like absolute crap the next day. I don't come from a place to binge, so I'm not the one to comment on it. The advice that I would give you, any kind of restriction from your diet, because that's exactly where it comes from. If you want something in a specific moment, then please have it. Otherwise, you'll keep thinking about it and you'll always go back to it. You'll end up binging it. You'll end up feeling super guilty about it. You'll restrict again. It's a vicious circle that is really hard to get out from. So please, if there's any restrictions in your diet, review it. You are allowed to eat all the foods, of course in moderation, but nothing is forbidden. Please keep that in mind. It says, no questions, just love your vibes and your account and try not to tell you every day. I love you guys so much. Like, we have such a good relationship. I really appreciate you guys. So yeah, I just love you all. I love you. Question is, do you take any supplements? If protein powder is considered as a supplement, then yes. And that's the only thing that I take. Next one and last one is how to keep a healthy diet for busy college students. I would give you as an advice is to dissociate healthy with difficult. You can be healthy with super simple ingredients. The key here is just to be a little bit organized. So maybe in the morning, make your overnight oats or have a toast and some eggs, which takes literally 10 minutes to put together. For lunch, make sure you choose whole food. So for example, you can use quinoa, brown rice, brown pasta. You can have that at hand. It cooks as quick as normal pasta, but it's more nutritious. And make sure you have vegetables prepared that you can add and throw with your meals. You can make a snack on the weekend that you will have like for your snack time. And for dinner, you can have like a list of like 3 or 4 dinners, which you can alternate during the weekdays. Really easy to put it together. But keep this idea in mind that your plate needs to be macro balanced. So you need a source of carbs, a source of protein, and a source of healthy fats. And you can have nutrients from like other vegetables and fruits and stuff. So yeah, it's not that hard. You can also get some yogurts and just put fruits with it. It's super simple. It's just about choosing the right ingredients to have at hand and a little bit of organization, a little bit of prep. But yeah, healthy is not difficult and healthy is not boring. Right guys, I think I replied to every single one of your questions. I hope you like these kind of videos. I really enjoyed doing them. I usually just reply on these questions on Instagram, but now I feel like we're getting closer to one another and I really wanted to reply to all your questions face to face. I just hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at FittyGals, where I post recipes and daily fun stories, I hope. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel to encourage my work, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye guys!